So now that you know about the scientific method, it's important that you know one of the most important parts of scientific investigations: measurements. The word comes from the Greek word metron, which means limited proportion. Measurement can be defined as the process of assigning numbers to observations, objects, or events. The observed numbers can then be recorded and collected. For example, we can measure how much rain has fallen and how much the plant has grown in height. Measurements allow us to create a reference point that we can all work from. But not all measurement tools are accurate. Let's look at the two types of measurement tools. We get standard measurement tools. These include the ruler, stopwatch, measuring cylinder, scale balance, and thermometer. And these are just a few. These tools express the length or amount of an object as a number or length units by laying multiple copies of a shorter object. For example, this ruler is split into centimeters, starting from 1 to 30. So we can measure any object in between these values. If the object is larger, we'll need a larger ruler. Then we get non-standard measurement tools. These would include footsteps, bottles in different sizes, containers, and heartbeats. These are inaccurate as they change depending on the situation. Like, perhaps you were taking bigger footsteps today than you were yesterday. When it comes to scientific investigations, only standard units are recommended for taking measurements since they give the same values across the board. The SI system is an international system of units used around the world. It consists of 7 fundamental units of measurement, from which all other standard measurements are derived from. There is the kilogram, meter, candela, second, ampere, Kelvin, and mole. In biology, we only tend to use 4 of them. Let's look at each one. Firstly, we measure length. We can use rulers or tape measure for this. The SI unit is meters. Next, we measure mass. This is the amount of matter in substances. We can use a scale or weighting balance to measure mass. The SI unit is kilogram. We also measure temperature. This refers to how hot or cold a body is. The SI unit is Kelvin, but we usually use degrees Celsius, which is derived from Kelvin. Finally, we measure pulse rate. This is the number of heartbeats per minute. Minutes are derived from the SI unit of seconds. Now we know that measurement is the process of assigning numbers to observations, objects, or events. The observed numbers can then be recorded and collected. There are 2 kinds of measurement tools: standard and non-standard. Standard tools include rulers and scales. They are the same no matter who uses the tool and are recommended for scientific investigations. Then we have non-standard measurement tools like footsteps or bottles. These are inaccurate and change depending on who is measuring the object or element. These are not recommended for scientific investigations. We also know about the International System of Measurement, or the SI system. These units of measurement include kilogram, meter, candela, second, ampere, Kelvin, and mole. For the purpose of biology, we tend to focus on 4 types of measurements: length, mass, temperature, and pulse rate. So remember, measurements are a very important part of biology and scientific investigations. It's a good idea to learn some more about different types of measurements.